Hello, this is Eleanor again. I hope you've enjoyed the colloquium so far. Over the past few days, we've heard a lot about the Nahrein network's achievements over the past 4 years. I'd like to finish by saying a few words about our future ambitions for the immediate future. The 4 years of funding we received from the UK Arts and Humanities Research Council and the Global Challenges Research Fund ends in just 3 weeks' time at the end of September. As you have seen today and yesterday, in that time the network has been far more successful than I ever hoped for, yet there is still so much to do. Our success was recognised last year by a very generous private philanthropist who has given money to UCL to enable us to continue our work for the next 10 years. That's just amazing, and I am incredibly grateful to our donor. So what are we going to do with this gift? Let me tell you about our plans. First, I think most importantly, we will keep the same team in London and in Oxford and Diwania and Soleimani, because we work so well together. We will also be joined by 2 new people, an administrator who will work with Jaffa in Diwania and a researcher who will work with me and Paul in London and Oxford. We will also keep the same research aims about cultural heritage in Iraq and its neighbours. As always, we want, as historians and political analysts, to better understand the current situation of cultural heritage in Iraq, why the problems have come about historically and politically, and that's the first way to help solve them. We want to keep raising the profile of local experts in universities and in cultural heritage organisations, let their voices and their ideas and their skills be heard and recognised across the world. This colloquium is part of that. We want to keep helping heritage organisations, museums, universities, archaeological sites, research institutions better serve local people's needs. We continue to do that. We want to help keep developing job prospects for the next generation, the next set of graduates from Iraqi universities in history, archaeology and related disciplines. We want to keep help aiding the development of peace and justice and reconciliation after conflict. We've already heard so much amazing work going on in that field. There's a 6th research aim that it's really important for us to develop too. We've been doing a lot of that already, but we haven't officially recognised it, and that is the ways in which cultural heritage can address Iraq's climate emergency. We want to think holistically, in an integrated way, about how heritage and the environment work together, affect each other, so that we can develop ways to mitigate against the effects of the natural disaster that's already developing across the Middle East and across the world. So we'll do this in several ways. The core team will continue to develop our own research projects. Mehia will continue to work on the politics of cultural heritage and state building in Iraq. Watch for new developments coming very soon with that. Jaffa is going to take the lead on the climate emergency with a big project on climate history and cultural heritage. Regine will continue her expertise with her team on digital technologies for cultural heritage engagement. And this links to some extent with the work that I've been doing behind the scenes to enable the online open access resources for cuneiform script to be published in Arabic and Farsi, so that researchers can use tools and develop tools, and therefore publics in Iraq can use translations and information about ancient Iraqi history online. For that, I'm going to be focusing on the city of Kish, together with the postdoctoral researcher Parsa Daneshmand, who will be starting work in November. And this is very closely linked to Paul's research project, which is also about Kish, and how the history of excavation and removal of artefacts from the site into museums in Britain and America and Europe, what that has what that has meant for the history of the site, and how what knowledge is accessible about antiquity in Iraq itself. Then we're setting up a new research grant scheme, very like the old one. Our projects that apply must address at least one of these 6 aims I've talked about. The projects must be led by an Iraqi researcher or have at least one Iraqi researcher in the senior management team. The budgets will range from £10,000 to £100,000, and projects can last from 1 to 2 years. There will be 2 application deadlines as before. And we will be giving out more information later this month. We will be running a webinar about it. There will be lots of information online. So more coming soon. We will also reopen our Visiting Scholars scheme in conjunction with the British Institute for the Study of Iraq. Iraqi researchers who are normally resident in Iraq will be able to apply for all expenses to come and work with a chosen host of a particular project in the UK for 1 to 2 months. This scheme will now also include Iraqi PhD students if they want to come and work with a supervisor in a British university. But if people don't want to travel but want to have a close working relationship with a British colleague, we can set up virtual placements instead. There will be 2 application deadlines as before, the 15th of February and the 15th of August. And we'll be giving out more information about that later this year. Finally, some more initiatives coming soon that watch this space. We're going to set up an alumni network for people who have been working with us who aren't currently funded by us at the moment, who want to keep in touch. We'll be setting up a new research development programme based on the work that Mehia and Jaffa and Rojin did a couple of years ago, funded by the British Academy. We've got 3 graduate studentships to offer at UCL. There'll be more information on the second one coming soon. For the projects that we fund, we are setting up a data repository at UCL so that we can keep your data securely stored for the long term. And I'm just starting to set up an open access publication series, which I hope will be hosted at UCL as well, so that funded research work funded by us can be disseminated as widely as possible in a reputable academic press. So keep in touch with us. As always, our social media is very active, thanks to Zainab. Our Twitter and Instagram accounts are mostly in English. Our Facebook is all in Arabic now. We have SoundCloud and YouTube accounts for videos and podcasts. We'll be setting up a new email letter, so watch this space, coming to your inbox soon. And we're working on an updated website as well. So thank you all again for coming this week. I hope it's been useful and interesting, and I really look forward to working with you in some form or another over the next 10 years. Shukran jazilan.